Hello, ladies. So today we're going to talk about fulfillment versus success. Do you feel like that you need to be a different version of yourself from 9 to 5 than the one that you are at home? Do you feel like you just keep turning into a chameleon over and over again? Like you walk through the door and you rip your bra off and get into your comfy pajamas to become another version of yourself, and you're numbing out after 5 o'clock with a glass of wine or some ice cream or chocolate or whatever it is to kind of come down from the day. And when you're at work, you're just not fulfilled anymore. Like, were you ever really fulfilled? Maybe at one point, or maybe not. And, we do this because we're trying to escape that feeling of unfulfillment. And inside we're like empty and we're miserable, and we kind of sometimes don't know what's next because this is just what we know and this is what we've always done. And it's really about like the joyful life is like, it's really embodying living to your full potential and knowing that you're meant for more and doing something to achieve it. And life without fulfillment is like having a cup that has a hole in it and it just keeps dripping out, and you're never completely really satisfied with certain aspects of your life. And it's time to like do something about it. And the thing is with fulfillment, it is like this wealth of the soul is really what you're looking for. It's like, it's about personal fulfillment. To me, is really about the wealth of the soul. It's about living authentically and sharing your insights with others and having the freedom to like honestly be yourself, your true authentic self, where you're not trading time for money with somebody or you're not being what other people need you to be. Like, you're really just authentically being yourself and you're sharing that part of you with others. And we're here to be creators. And I know I've talked about this before in other videos where it's like everything we do here is a creation. We create life, we create products, we create relationships, we create moments, we create tangible things, we create all kinds of intangible things. So we're really here to create. But when you've had 40 something years of creating, you have a lot of wisdom that has come with that time period, for sure. And it's time to contribute to others. And maybe as you move into the second phase where you're becoming an empty nester, or you're like, I want to start thinking about what's next for me, or I want to start to think about what am I going to do in my so-called retirement years. And now people are living so much longer. I don't know if there really is such a thing of retirement years. I think, to me personally, it's living your 2.0 life or your next chapter, which can be the best chapter of your life because now you have all this wisdom and insight. So, one of the things that we're living with today, which is very different than our generation, because we grew up from boomers, or you are a boomer, or you're a Gen X, either or, but either way, you came from a group of people that work the same job forever, get a watch, retire, and then you go out to the pasture. and you don't do anything anymore. And that's not how life is anymore. But the next generation below us has a totally different mindset. Millenniums and Gen Ys and all these other groups of after us, they are a generation where it's more about, they don't keep jobs anymore the way that they used to. They want to get ahead faster. They are a generation of working smarter, not harder. And sometimes other generations struggle with that because we all were raised by or are people that grew up in the harder world. So, that's where we come into play. Okay, so listen up here on this one. So, it is about the generations below us are seeking our knowledge because they want to move faster. They're living in a world that is moving at such speeds, they don't have per se the time to learn that much knowledge over time. They need it like now. They need that wisdom now so they can move forward faster. They can skip some of the steps. Now, again, everyone's life is going to have ups and downs and hills and valleys to it. And you can't get around some of this stuff. It's just part of what we're here to do. But we have that wisdom that they're seeking. We are the key for that lock that they're trying to open. So, for example, they want to skip and learn about business faster. They want to understand about different aspects of life and life lessons that we've experienced, and heartache that we've experienced, and what we now know and our wisdom, and take that wisdom so they can skip some of those lines. They can move faster in business. They cannot make those mistakes. And that's a big part of what we hold the key for them in doing. And back to fulfillment. So now we have this opportunity to create a whole other world of fulfillment by sharing our wisdom with them, sharing our insights with them, sharing and creating products and services for them, or our wisdom in all different ways. And some of us may feel as though, well, that's for other people. I didn't really have that much go on in my life, or who wants to hear from me, or that's for other people. I really want us to change that right now. I want us to change that story to you know what? Yeah, I have lived a life that had a lot of things to it. Or yeah, I have done a lot in business. Or yeah, I know what it's like to raise 5 kids, 8 kids, or have a child that has dyslexia, ADHD, all kinds of different things. I know how to do the gardening like nobody's business, or all of these different things that come into play. You have resources, you have knowledge, you have wisdom that is so valuable that you are probably thinking that it's worth nothing. But to somebody else, that's the key to change their life. That's the key to help them move faster, further, and make sure that their life is different. I mean, just think of how fast we grew up in a generation that had no phone, to now we're have it glued to us 24/7. Can you imagine what their lives are like? I mean, because that's all they've ever known. So they're all about the technology age. They're all about moving faster. They're all about innovation. They want to be entrepreneurs. They don't want to work normal 9 to 5s. They don't want to have be chained to a desk. They don't need a watch. They can buy their own damn watch. So, but we hold so much knowledge that we can help them. So what comes into play is, what you receive out of this too. So think for a second, what is it that you could put out into the world? Could you start a YouTube channel about something? Could you write a book? Could you be a mentor for somebody? Could you start a podcast and sharing your information? Could you do a digital product? Could you create a membership that helps young adults 30 and below to understand XYZ? Whatever it is. You could create a faceless YouTube channel if you didn't really want to put yourself out there on camera. Maybe you're an introvert, Or maybe you have something that you are so passionate about and you love to talk about, yet your family is so overhearing it. I fall into that club. I love personal development and mindset, and my family is so overhearing it. But I know it's valuable. So I share it. And, the other thing too is you can create YouTube channels about everything under the sun. I was hearing the other day somebody talk about, there's a woman that does dishes and she vacuums and does a YouTube channel about all of that. And was a young man that it lives in a dorm, and he listens to it in the background because it reminds him of being home with his mom and his family while he's at college. Like, who would have thought it, right? But there's all kinds of stuff that you can do to help serve, to help build a legacy, because somebody needs your information at 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, there was another story about a woman who had a baby and it was super colicky, and they were up all hours of the night, and she was on the internet searching, and she came across someone's information, and she bought the course and she put it, and it changed her life dramatically in regards to getting that colicky baby squared away. For a first-time mom who's going through that stuff, especially where most of you have already raised your children, you've been through all those type of things. But for her, she was completely overwhelmed at 2 o'clock in the morning. But there was somebody out there that took the risk and put their information out there and shared their wisdom and knowledge. So it could become a bridge for somebody else. You know, that's a big part of this. It's like, you know, we've experienced what we've all experienced for a reason. But why should we just take it to our graves? Why not share it? Why not create videos about it? Why not do a video about, this is what I've learned in business, that's an hour and a half long, and share that wisdom with somebody else that can really use it. So think about, like, what is something that you've really have always dreamed about doing, that you've been afraid to do? Or you think that whole statement of, yeah, but who wants to listen to me? Somebody wants to listen to you. And there could be a lot of people that want to listen to you. People are searching more than ever for people that are real and authentic, that are truth tellers, that give information, that don't gloss over it, that will tell you, this is how this is, and this is what I did, and this is how I got there, and these are the lessons that I've learned, and this is what you can avoid, and this is where the most valuable things I found in building resiliency, or the most important things I found in building a business in whatever industry that it might be that you're working in, or this is what I've learned about 20 years of gardening. Like, share your wisdom, because it was given to you to do just that. It wasn't given to you for you to hold on to it and just let it go to the grave with you. It was given to you to put it out and plant seeds into other people's minds, into other people's gardens, so then they can fertilize them and grow new crops with it. That's why we have the lives that we have. That's why we've had the experiences that we have. It's so we can share our wisdom. We can share our insights. So think about, like, what's a life experience, a problem you've solved, a passion you have. It could be anything. Like I said, people are seeking for this. And you know why? It's because we've already climbed to the top of the mountain. Or we've climbed higher up into the mountain than maybe they have. And we're on the way back. And so you can share that information. So then they don't have to climb all the way to the top of that particular mountain. You get to tell them the wisdom as you walk together back down the mountain. So then they can climb another mountain, a different mountain with now your wisdom. And you live on. You live on. There's a small part of you that becomes a part of every person's story that listen to your wisdom. And it could be really small or it could be major. And you know what? And remember, it's like, it's about having a deeper purpose here. You know, we're meant in our lives at this stage, at 40 and over, especially if you're 50 and above, to live a life that has more meaning to it. That we start putting our seeds into other people's gardens. That we start helping other people's dreams come true, that we start fostering and donating our time to other people. And, you know, it's about also, you know, thinking about, a lot of us are financially in a position, not all, that we can give our times without, you know, thinking about, oh, I have to receive money from this. And sometimes you will. I mean, sometimes that will just be what happens. But if we come from a place of just service, if we come from a place of creating just a women's circle, just to help other young women rise up, find their voice, become the leaders of tomorrow, if we can foster those relationships and share ourselves, and you know what, and leave perfectionism aside, leave the masks behind, leave all that BS behind. These people want real, raw, authentic you. And I know I've said this more than once in this video because I really want you to hear me. I want you to really hear that. It's so important that you just show up as your beautiful self. So think about, you know, what is it that you could do? What is it that you would love to do? What seeds can you put out there and plant into other people's minds that they could flourish into other things? How could you be helpful and innovate somebody, or raise somebody's soul up, or teach them resiliency? Or because we have a generation of people out there, young people, that are suffering with so much right now. They didn't grow up going to the park and hanging out with their friends. They're attached to phones. They don't feel like they know resiliency the way that we do. They feel like they don't know how to build connection and have communication the way that we do, because we needed to call our friends on the phone. Now they text. They don't even have to talk to each other. They can have all these conversations, but these are real, true life skills that they really need. And you have them. You have them. So let's think about, what do we want to do to put into society? How do we want to foster and be part of this group of people and a generation where we truly helped inspire and mold the next generations and share their wisdom so they could flourish faster, they could flourish at whole new levels. And in doing that, you receive fulfillment, because there's nothing better than when you fill someone else's cup and they have so much gratitude for that. They're so excited that you cared enough about them to share your wisdom, to give your gifts, to give yourself. And that's where true fulfillment comes from. It's not about how many awards you've won, or how many accolades you have, or how much money you have in the bank. It's really about how many souls did you deposit into today in a positive way, or help them foster something within themselves. Because we're all one. If we want to believe it or not, it's the truth. Everything is connected. We are all connected. And we're smart and wise enough to help foster those connections. Instead of feeling separate, it's about being oneness and togetherness and rising all of the boats up. And I truly, truly believe that it's our responsibility to do that. But more than that, it should be, I would hope it's our deep desire to want to do that. So who could you inspire? What can you do? You know, and it's like, and just show up and leave perfection at the door, and show up as your beautiful self, and show all the facets of yourself, and show your fun, flirty side, and show your creativity, and speak your truth, and get real and vulnerable. Because what I also know that happens with this is that we heal parts of ourselves that we didn't even always know needed healing when we deposit into other people. You know, have fun with it. Like, leave expectations at the door. And if you struggle with, well, the dreaded how do I do this? What do I do? We get in our head and our monkey brain takes over. Use AI. Get into ChatGPT. Get into a technology tool, and you know what? You can do lots of different things. You can give it your resume and ask it, how can I help the young people in the next generations? Based off my resume, what are the things that I can do to help share my wisdom with them? What are they looking for? You could put in what you're passionate about, what you know. Say, give me a list of things that I can do that could help foster other people and raise them up. Think about, what is it that you just, like I said, just talk about what you love to talk about. Like, people want to be in other people's energy. We're a starving energy group of people right now. People are starving to be in other people's positive energetics that can give them hope, that can teach them wisdom, that can entertain them while they're doing the dishes and vacuuming and things like that. You know, and don't be afraid to do long form content. There are so many people that listen to videos while, like I said, they're doing other tasks. And you can be part of that. You can be in their living rooms. You can be in their ears. You can help, give them that education and motivation as they are driving to work or on the train or working out. And you can teach them and help foster them. And I think that's so huge. So think about, what do you love? What are you passionate about? How could you create a legacy? And I'm going to say this one more time. Give yourself permission to just be. Put yourself out there, have fun. You are enough. This is the time is now. You have so much wisdom. Your life has been here, and all of this is unfolded for a reason. And it is going to be imperfect, and you're not going to know some of the stuff, or you're going to have to learn new stuff. But you know what? We're resilient. We got this. You got this. So, what are you going to do? Comment below what you're going to do. How are you going to get back out there? How are you going to make the next chapter of your life about giving and serving to others in new ways that are fun, that feel joyful, that are going to bring you fulfillment? And I'd love to hear what you're going to do. So let's get out there as our midlife smarty pants and share our insights and wisdom and start spreading some love to a world that really, truly needs it. Have a great day. Because remember, if I can do it, you can do it too.